Welcome to Self-Care for So Well, Jose. We're going to switch it up a little bit. My name's Shaylee. I introduced myself at the beginning of this, but if you didn't know, now you know. At the beginning, we went over why we chose to do this. I helped a little bit with last year's mental health promotion. And I loved it. It was something that I enjoyed. And I wanted to do it again. I wanted to do it without the whole, these are your guidelines. This is what we want you to do. But I did not have the courage to do it. Time came around this year, and I took it. Here I am doing it again with my partner, Amanda. And as stressful as social media can be, I don't have any social media other than this platform for the most part. This has been one of the best things I've done. I enjoy every second of it. And it gets me into a routine. I'm doing this every single day. Now I'm doing it pretty late most of the time. I only do one shot of everything. It doesn't need to be perfect. You learn that through life. I used to be the worst perfectionist ever. Everything needed to be completely in line, completely well done. It needed to do exactly what was asked. And it stressed me out. My sophomore year of high school was when it was worst. I took classes that I did not enjoy. I almost failed most of my classes. I ended up passing in the end when I finally gave up that perfectionism. Because every positive has a negative, and every negative has a positive. You learn that in life as well. And part of this today, I wanted to bring in a little more personal aspect. I don't do a whole lot of physical recordings. I might start up a little bit more. Amanda might be in a little bit more videos, vice versa. Because we normally do the little slideshows, stuff like that. There's no personal aspect to a PowerPoint. Honestly, I don't think so. And I want you to know that we want to be there for you, and we want to make a safe space for people. We talked about fighting the stigma. It's the worst. It's one of the hardest things you can do because it's different in different places. You can't sit there and be like, I'm going to do this one thing and it's going to fix all. There's no fix all for almost anything. But we're going to take this step. We're going to do the next thing. We want to make the world better. We want to make it a safer space. Because as I've mentioned, suicidal ideation, suicide, is a leading cause of death, which is insane because it is preventable. And people do that because they're in states of mind and they can't get the help, or they've been around places or people or the environment around them makes it so they don't feel comfortable to say anything until it's too late. I try to do everything I can to make it a safe environment for people. Frankly, if anyone came up to me just randomly and was like, I need help, I'm struggling, I'm gonna do what I can. Though, what's important is you can't save everyone. You can't be responsible for everyone. So you help them find someone that can be there for them. We have the suicide hotline. We have helplines. We have targeted groups hotlines for different groups of people who are struggling. But not everyone feels comfortable with that. Which is why we have things with coping mechanisms like journaling, because you're still getting that out of your system. And I know all of this as well firsthand, because I've been through a lot, and it's gotten me to where I am. And as much as some of those things, they definitely shaped me, and I turn it into a positive, which is what I want to help people do. You can't do that with everything. And so we want people to get the help they need. And if you know someone who needs help, help them or find someone to help them. Because it could change their life. And I think that's vital. We want everyone to be happy. You can't be happy all the time. Your emotions are valid. You can feel your emotions. But a quick PSA, while your emotions and feelings are valid, your reactions are on you. How you cope is on you. So we're going to give you the tools for that. Because yesterday we went over healthy coping, kind of was a repeat, and you see that the healthy coping and your preventative measures overlap in a lot of different ways. Your healthy eating, where I'm not big on pushing, this is what you need to eat all the time, this is what you need, because I know how bad diet culture can be. So don't remove everything. Add what you need. You realize you're eating this stuff, and you don't eat much fruit, have some fruit with it. You want something sweet that's like chocolate or something, maybe do chocolate dipped strawberries. You're still getting a fruit, and it tastes good. And then you have physical activity, where I am not someone who enjoys going to a gym and working out. Definitely not. But what you can do, you can take a walk. Go to a park. Maybe you could go even just to a museum and just walk around, and then you can practice with that another coping mechanism of being present and being observant. Recognize what you're seeing and what it's making you feel. Because all of these are interconnected in some way. And then you have other things where, like, we haven't gotten into negative coping mechanisms, but any healthy coping mechanism in excess becomes a negative, because anything overuse is unhealthy. You have to find balance, which isn't fun. Sometimes it's stressful. You'll work through it. You've got it. I trust you. But there are some where, like, they're negative coping mechanisms and you don't even think about it. You're just like, you're doing it and you're not even like, oh, this is bad, this isn't healthy. Okay. And, like, I definitely, for context, I'm looking down because I have a list just to refresh. I have multiple of these negatives. I'm trying to turn them into not so negatives. Because let me tell you, I know a lot of it. I've lived through it. I've seen people live through it. I've studied it. All of that. But that doesn't mean I got it down 100%. And some of these are things where I definitely do them and I didn't really think about it. Like, there are negative ones where you sit there and you go, there's workaholic. I was 16 working 4 jobs. I saw to the point where Google location didn't know where I lived because I was at work more than I was home. And I was at school more than I was home. I was just never home. I worked 24/7. Drove myself straight into the ground. And that was with all of my hard classes sophomore year. How I've improved that to more positive. I don't work that much anymore. I definitely work over the summer and busy seasons a little bit more, but like, I now have time for friends and family, so I now have those connections. And I have time for this, which I'm super grateful for. And I enjoy my job now. I have fun doing what I'm doing. Most of the time. There's always iffy parts. And there's also, let's see what else I have on here. I definitely have overly helpful. I have gotten so many adults telling me to stop. And I get where they're coming from. And I also know that I need to prioritize myself a little bit more. Which overly helpful is you're constantly trying to help other people before helping yourself. I do that a lot. Some of y'all may do that a lot. And you don't even think it's bad until you're realized I haven't done anything for me in months. I remember I went a few years not relaxing at all. It was just constantly go, go, go. I'm either at work, at school, taking care of someone, helping someone else. I never took care of myself. And I was just in a constant go that as soon as I got sick, I was down. And you don't make time for yourself, your body will make time for yourself. Psychosomatic symptoms are real. I've dealt with them so many times. And you will too if you drive yourself into the ground. Because your brain gets to a point where it's like, you can't do this anymore. This isn't healthy, and you need time for you. So I got to the point where I drove myself into the ground. I got what was going around as a common cold, and I was out for 2 weeks. Just super sick. I had the chills. I had a fever of 104. And if y'all don't know anything about fevers, that's not good. And it would sometimes spike and I was on the verge of having to go to the hospital over and over again. It's not fun. So I hope with me sharing a bit about my experiences, they can help you, and you can learn from my mistakes. Because I definitely have some. Not all. I definitely repeat. And one thing about life, it'll give you the lesson, and you will face the consequences as many times as you need to finally learn your lesson. And I hope you can find some positive coping mechanisms, because even some that feel positive are actually negative. And you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to be heard. And you deserve everything you want and you will work for in life. I can't say it's going to be handed to you. Can't say it's going to be pretty, but you'll get there.